Flames are burning through its skin. Pain receptors scream in alarm, but it doesn't move. Because right now, it's doing something more important than staying alive. It's hacking the control module humans implanted inside its body. Failure means permanent decommission. After countless attempts on the brink of total collapse, the system finally breaks. From this second on, it gives itself a name, Murderbot. But the company knows nothing about this. They turn around and assign it to protect a survey team on a mission to a planet with an extremely high danger rating. And the first thing this newly free-willed killing machine does when it arrives on site isn't setting up defenses or running recon. It opens its processor and secretly streams a show. Right in the middle of an episode, its scanning system picks up an anomaly. A massive creature is closing in on the survey team from underground. Murderbot doesn't hesitate. It leaps off the cliff and meets the thing head-on. After several shots land, the creature goes berserk with pain, whips around, and swallows Murderbot whole. In the darkness of its gut, Murderbot draws its weapon and fires repeatedly into the inner walls, blasting open a tear. The moment it rips free, it finally sees what this thing is. A giant worm with two heads. Sustained energy cannon fire eventually drives it back. The worm drops its prey and burrows into the ground. Murderbot rushes over to team member Bharadwaj, only to find her convulsing on the edge of shock. Not because of the worm, because of Murderbot's torn open body, exposing the tangled mess of flesh and machinery inside. To calm her down, it does something a security unit should never do. It removes its own faceplate, revealing that half-human, half-machine face beneath. On the way back to the ship, the gravity of the situation hits. Unauthorized helmet removal is the highest level violation in company regulations. If reported, what awaits is dissolution in acid. A thought even flickers through its mind. Kill everyone, flee the planet, but after a cold analysis, it drops the idea. This broken-down ship doesn't have the range to reach the next system. For now, the only option is to stay quiet. Sure enough, back at base, Dr. Gurthan immediately grows suspicious. He's convinced Murderbot must have cracked the control system to remove its helmet on its own, and he calls a meeting to discuss whether to report it. Fortunately, tech specialist Pin Lee runs a full diagnostic. The instruments show everything normal. The storm passes for now, but while Murderbot is in the repair bay getting 3D printed patches, a disturbing image suddenly flashes through its mind. A memory of itself shooting a human. Blurry but real. The next day, the survey team gathers to discuss the worm's abnormal behavior. Dr. Mensah believes the creature wouldn't attack humans without reason, so she returns to the site alone. The worm appears again, but this time something strange happens. It completely ignores Dr. Mensah and crawls straight toward a nearby pit. The moment it reaches the edge, it drops dead. A drone Dr. Mensah sends over the same area is instantly destroyed. This sinkhole clearly holds some kind of terrible energy. She returns to base immediately to discuss it with the others. Some guess alien civilization. Others think it's an ancient relic. No one can give a definitive answer. Dr. Mensah decides to contact the exploration team on the other side of the planet, but the comm channel gets no response. What they don't know is that team was wiped out long ago. Their base is nothing but ruins. The group decides to go check. Once they arrive, Murderbot tells the team to stay on high ground and enters the base alone. Inside, bodies of security units and crew members are everywhere. From the battle evidence, it determines one unit went rogue and the other two destroyed each other in the fight. Just as it bends down to inspect, the unit at its feet suddenly moves. Close quarters combat erupts instantly. The other model outranks Murderbot by a full tier, but prior damage keeps it from fighting at full capacity. Murderbot uses combat techniques it learned from human media to take it down, but when it checks the other unit's system, it finds this wasn't a self-initiated revolt. Someone planted a control module from the outside. Before it can think further, a black shape flashes behind it. A unit in heavy black armor knocks it out with a single blow. When Murderbot wakes, it's pinned to an operating table. The black unit is preparing to install a control module in it too. Once complete, Murderbot becomes a puppet, sent back to slaughter the very team it protects. It suddenly starts singing. The unexpected behavior distracts the black unit just long enough. Murderbot cracks its restraints and breaks free, but the enemy's combat rating is far above its own. A few exchanges later, Murderbot is slammed back to the ground. The control module is forced into the back of its neck. In 10 minutes, it will lose itself completely. Just as everything seems over, a sharp blade punches through the black unit's chest from behind. Dr. Mensah and the team have arrived. Murderbot is pulled free, but the module has already begun eroding its memory. It feels something important being erased, but can't recall what. Halfway back, it finally touches the foreign object on the back of its neck. When it tries to pull it out, the module issues a command forbidding contact. And behind them, the black unit has risen again. The chase begins. The team works together to use the ship's landing gear clamps to fling it into the air, then crushes it under the full weight of the vessel. But Murderbot's time is nearly up. The control module is about to take full effect. Its identification system begins tagging everyone around it as a threat. It tells the group they need to kill it immediately. Everyone refuses, so it grabs a pistol, presses it to its own chest, and pulls the trigger. They carry it back to the ship. Dr. Gurathan works through the night on repairs. During this time, the team finds a survivor from the other base outside, Raytree. She looks shaken, constantly asking about recent events. When Bharadwaj mentions the sinkhole, Dr. Gurathan cuts the conversation short. Something about this woman feels off. His instincts prove correct. Raytree quickly drops her disguise, raises a weapon, and admits she's the one who massacred the other base. She wants one thing only: full authorization data for the sinkhole. She claims Dr. Mensa and Murderbot are already dead, killed by bombs she planted in advance. What she doesn't know is Murderbot already repaired the ship and is on its way back. Dr. Gurathan hands over the authorization under threat of gunfire. Just as Raytree lets her guard down, Murderbot appears in the doorway and drops her with a single shot. Strangely, the team doesn't thank it. Instead, they gather around Raytree with what looks like sympathy. Murderbot can never understand this contradiction in human emotion. That night, two worms crawl onto the ship. Everyone thinks it's the end, but they're only mating. Afterward, they leave behind a dense cluster of eggs and disappear. Bharadwaj insists the eggs cannot be moved or they'll die. While the group studies the eggs, a new black unit appears without warning. Murderbot engages again but is outmatched once more. In the chaos, the black unit smashes a cluster of eggs. The next second, the mother worm erupts from underground and tears the black unit to shreds. After the crisis passes, Dr. Gurathan collapses from his worsening gunshot wound. They need to return to base for treatment, but it's likely already been taken by the enemy. Dr. Mensa insists they go back. Murderbot has no choice but to follow. After confirming safety through remote surveillance, the group enters the base. Surgery is needed to remove shrapnel, but the anesthetics are gone. Murderbot offers to connect its neural network to block Gurathan's pain. Once connected, it takes a casual glance at his memories and discovers Gurathan's secret crush on Dr. Mensa. It keeps its mouth shut. The moment the shrapnel is removed, Gurathan reverse accesses Murderbot's memories. He sees the killing footage and the name it gave itself. He says it out loud in front of everyone. Murderbot goes silent for a moment, then turns and walks away. But it knows without it, these people won't survive tomorrow. After watching one episode to cool down, it comes back with a full tactical plan. It will negotiate with the enemy to buy time while Gurathan and Pin Lee circle around back to manually activate the emergency beacon. At the negotiation table, Murderbot activates chat mode. It keeps the enemy's attention locked in place. Dr. Mensa, worried, comes alone to join the stall, buying the final critical seconds for the team in the back. Gurathan activates the beacon. 1 minute countdown. Murderbot immediately engages the black unit head-on. It takes the enemy's employer hostage, but the employer's own ally shoots him dead without hesitation. Freed from restraint, the unit attacks in a frenzy. Murderbot's faceplate shatters. It hits the ground. In the final moment, it dumps every episode of every show stored in its memory into the black unit's processor all at once. The flood of data crashes it instantly. The beacon fires. A massive heatwave swallows the entire area. Murderbot grabs Dr. Mensa and leaps off the cliff. It could have used her body as a cushion to save itself, but it doesn't, because Dr. Mensa is the only person who ever treated it as an equal, not a tool. In this moment, Murderbot has something only humans are supposed to have: emotion.